Hey, my Algebra 2 kids. So I had a request from Soph that I go over some of these questions that I sent home in this packet for you. And I think that is a great idea. So I'm going to do my best to not look like an idiot while I hold my phone and do math at the same time. So bear with me, okay? So today we're going to do page number 2 only. So we got the function f of x is undefined when x equals your main vocabulary word right here, undefined. You need to know that a fraction is undefined when its denominator only is equal to 0. Okay, we cannot divide by 0. So what I would do is I would take x squared plus 2x minus 8 and say, when does that equal 0? And it's a quadratic in standard form, so I'm going to factor it. That's my favorite thing to do. And the factors of 8 that subtract to be 2 are 4 and 2. Signs are different. Bigger numbers positive. Boom. So x is negative 4 or x is 2. So I know that negative 4 and 2 is answer 1. All right, now you can cheat it. I'm going to show you guys some cheats in your calculator. Now, if you do not have an Inspire at home, which I don't think any of you do, remember I sent home that link that you can download the app either on an iPad or a desktop computer. Your Chromebooks will not download that app, okay? So it's got to be on an iPad or a desktop or a laptop, just not a Chromebook. So if I wanted to kind of cheat this one, I would pick these numbers and put them in for x. So me personally, I'm going to put negative 4 in for x. The reason I'm going to do that is because 2 appears over here as well. So I don't want to get tricked. So here's the deal. I would go to a calculator. Boom. Remember x. Here, let me go. X. Funky equal sign. Remember that guy? X is negative 4. And then you hit enter. And then to cheat this, you type in the fraction that was given to you, x minus 3 over x squared plus 2x minus 8. Boom. And it says undef. That's short for undefined. So that's your cheat way to determine that number 1 is, in fact, the answer. Okay? Take a look at number 2, which expression is equivalent to this? I know you all love imaginary numbers. That's our favorite. Now, you cannot type this into a calculator because of the variable k, but you can cheat. You can put a number in for k, type this in your calculator, but then you're going to have to type in the 4 answers to see which one gives you the same output. Okay? So mathematically, what we would do is we would do 3k minus 2i times another 3k minus 2i. Remember in this class, we do one of two things, factor or FOIL. And this one is a FOIL. So here we go. Those two are 9k squared. Go out here. That's negative 6ki. Here is another negative 6ki. And then this one is going to become positive 4i squared. All right. Before you guys left, remember I've been pushing I squared is negative 1. So I'm basically doing 4 times negative 1, which is negative 4. Okay? So when I put this all together, I've got 9k squared. These two combined together, which is negative 12ki. And then you've got that minus 4. Boom. Okay, so now we go over pick the answer, which is what? Minus 12ki minus 4. Boom. Number 3. All right, taking a look at number 3, the roots of the equation. So I've got several options here. I could use nsolve. Okay, nsolve is either going to come up with these guys or it is going to say non-real calculation. So either way, if you use nsolve, you're going to get down to either a 50-50 or you're going to get the right answer. Algebraically, I need factors of 5 that add to be 2. Well, guys, there are no factors of 5 that had to be 2. So I know these two answers are impossible. So how do you get an answer that is imaginary with a quadratic? You have to use the quadratic formula. So in this one, A is 1, B is 2, C is 5. Remember, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now I'm going to simplify that up. So negative 2 plus or minus. All right, what is that going to give me? 4 minus 4 times 1 times 5 is negative 16. Hey, that's really great. So remember, when we have a negative under a square root, that is where the imaginary number comes from. So square root of 16 is 4. Square root of negative 1 is I over 2. And we can divide all of that by 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Then my plus minus. 4i divided by 2 is 2i. So we've got negative 1 plus or minus 2i. There it is. Okay. Take a look at number 4, the solution set for the equation. I'm going to tell you this one is nasty algebraically because it has 2 radicals. So here's a little clue to you. You have to get one radical on one side, the other radical on the other side. So if you were algebraically doing this, I would add that over here. You guys okay in there?
Yeah.
Jeepers creepers. That was freaky. So square root of x plus 14 is going to equal 1 plus the square root of 2x plus 5. And then you'd have to square this side, and you're going to have to square this side, which results, this results in foiling, which is going to be absolutely disgusting. It's not awful, but it's pretty gross. So what I would do is I would cheat it, kiddos. I would go right to my calculator, and I'm going to end solve it. So here we go, menu 3, 1. Now remember, I have the different version of the calculator.
Mama,
Knock it off.
not your car.
Actually, I got to open a new document, and I'm going to have to seriously injure my children soon. Menu 3, 1. So we've got square root, x plus 14. Get out of the square root. Minus 2x plus 5. Get out of the square root. Equals 1, comma, x equals 100. So we get x is 2. Sorry, I just wrote that down over there. And then remember, we are going to copy and paste it down. Change that 100 to a negative 100. And we got x is 2 again. So this one would have given you an extraneous solution. So the only answer is 2. Only answer is 2. Boom. Okay, and last but not least, as x increases from 0 to pi over 2, the graph of the equation y equals 2 tan x will... So here we go. Now remember that tangent graph? Tangent graph is like the zebra stripes. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. One of those graphs. It's repeating. It's cyclic. So for you, if you're unsure, you can again cheat this in a calculator. Add a graph. Okay, now remember, I am in radians, just like you. No, you'll be in degrees. I thought I was in degrees. I'm going to cheat it anyway. Here we go. 2. Okay, I'm having a hard time. What is wrong with me? Hold on, guys. Okay, let's try one more time, and then my children will get their answers. Here we go. 2. Trig button, tangent, what is that? X. Now remember, for us, we're going to put that little radian symbol, that little R in the parentheses there. So there's your graph of tangent, but it says from 0 to pi over 2. So this is really cool. We can cheat this a little bit. We're going to come over here, and we're going to change that 0. See how good? There we go. 0. Then I can hit tab. I don't really care about that. Tab. Here we go. Pi over 2 is what I'm going to change that to. Oh gosh, sorry guys. Pi over 2. There you go. So what's happening with this graph from 0 to pi over 2? It's going to go up. It's going to go up and up and up. So it doesn't increase from 0 to 2 because it continues going. It doesn't decrease because it's going up. It's going to increase without limit. So there's your answer to page 2. Sorry it took me so long to get this figured out, and I will do my best to not look like a fool next time I record for you. There you go, guys. Let me know if you have questions, okay? Miss you all.